Hi guys, it's CalamitiesDawn here and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft 121. So, to start off this episode, I kind of got bored with doing some stuff back at the base, so I decided let's go have a look at this nether fortress. Now, this one's pretty close to our portal. And I do know of another one, but it is, sorry, a bit farther than where we are now. So I thought I'd just do the closer one and see how it goes. I was very nervous of falling off and dying in the lava because I'm like, I don't want to lose all my experience. I'm not too concerned about losing my armor and stuff. I can always get that back quite easily, so I just didn't want to fall in lava and lose my experience points. I'm also trying to make it somewhat like safer because I know how prone I am to making mistakes and dying easily. I was like, oh yeah, I'll make sure I block this off in case if there's wither skeletons, which I think I came across like one the entire time I went through here. I don't know why I grabbed everything out of the chest. There was no need. On my way further in, I found a whole bunch of skeletons and I was like, great, just the thing I want to deal with is skeletons. I've also, in between this episode and last episode, have added in the more animations, I think it is. I can't remember what it is, but when I have a look after I'm done editing, I will put it in the description. I just like the way that it animates mobs in general. Just makes it feel more alive. I also got a whole bunch of nether wart. I don't know why. I also found my first bit of ancient debris, which is great. So I mined that up. I'm very happy that my Prometheum axe can get it. Otherwise I would have been very frustrated. I would have had to have left it and I would have forgotten where it was, knowing my luck. But there was two. So I was quite lucky. I was quite happy with that. I then also found this blaze spawner, which I sort of like blocked off. You can see here in this process that I'm trying to block it off so that they all funnel to the front so I don't get so much damage, because I don't have enchanted armor yet. I can enchant my armor, I just don't really want to right now. I kind of want to save up enough experience points just to level them out like fully to what I want. I also want to have enough saved up that I can have a nether armor set and an overworld end armor set, I suppose. So, still working out what enchantments I'll need for that. But I'm blocking off the roof just to funnel them off a bit more. I also then go in later and try to funnel in the sides so that it's narrow so that they have to come to the front. Otherwise, they all sit at the back and I get like attacked. So I go through and I'm just sort of figuring out, okay, maybe I can fill this up. There was a couple of times where some of them would just burst through the hole and come up and get me. And I was like, nope. Because I was so worried I was going to die of fire damage. But it ended up being all right. It didn't happen as bad as I'd thought. I then went back out, sort of looked at it and then, decided, yep, this is where I decide I'm going to try and like fill it in so that they have to move forward, which was quite handy anyway. I mean, I needed a whole bunch of blaze rods anyway because I needed them for something. I don't remember what I needed them for now. I know I needed them for something. I don't know, I needed a fair amount, so I was like, yep, I'm gonna go get a whole bunch. After figuring out how I wanted this done, I think I've probably blocked it off too much, but I'll leave it for the moment. Then I went down into the nether and used my emerald hammers to get a whole bunch of ancient debris. Because I was like, I want more ancient debris. And these hammers are great. I went online to look for the perfect level for ancient debris. And I went and just got an emerald hammer and just went through big time. It also led me to finding some new ores that I haven't found before, which was quite interesting. So yeah, I did that and I was quite happy with it all. The only thing that I got frustrated with is that maybe in the next episode, I'll actually do like a quick run through of my entire mining session and you can see how big the area is. It's ridiculous. I also hated it because I decided I wasn't going to wear gold and every now and then I'd have these piglins just come up and attack me and I was like, hey, I'm busy here. I don't have time for you. I also then decided I was going to take on a bastion because with me having ancient debris, that then means I can make netherite. Now I wanted to make some netherite tools. Problem being is that you need the template, which is in the bastions. So I found one that wasn't too far away, thankfully, and just made my way in. I also made an obsidian bow before I went on my trip here. The obsidian bow doesn't do any more damage as far as I'm aware. But I was like, hey, look, we'll just make it anyway. I think it just gives it more durability. And so I just went in and shot a whole bunch of them and ran through and just, yeah. At this point here, I kind of just went in unprepared, not knowing how the bastion works because I've never been in one before. So getting swamped by a whole bunch of brutes was not my idea of fun, but I managed to do okay anyway, which was good. Except for there, because for some reason I decided to click on the chest. Good idea. At least I got an advancement, which is fine. So then I went and killed this guy, because then he was annoying me. And I looked at my health and I'm like, this could be a lot worse, but this still isn't good anyway. So I just looted the chest. Took these netherite fireball upgrades. I don't know what they're for. I know they're part of the better nether mod, but I'm quite curious to see what they're actually for, because I don't know. I have a lot of these mods that I've played with before, but I've never really stuck with with whatever series it was in for long enough to figure out what they all do. I also jumped up on top of the bastion and found the other half that I was going to go and loot, but there was a whole bunch of piglins and piglin brutes, so I was like, I'm just going to stand up here where they can't get me and shoot them. Saves me dying, right? It takes me forever to shoot these guys, and I don't know why, I felt safer shooting them from above. It was also good being able to get more arrows because I can't argue with having arrows. I then made my way back into the main half and decided to just kill any piglins that were in the way. Now, I didn't fully go through it. I just sort of would stand on one side and see if there was any chests. If there was a chest, I'd go to it and then sort of make my way down that way. I sort of make a couple of mistakes in here, in being that I don't realize how close being to them, like, if my words would work. I didn't realize that standing a certain distance from them meant that they could also attack me, so there are a couple of times where I stand a bit too close and I get a bit of a swipe or two, but then at least they don't do so much damage that I don't realize, oh shit, I need to move. This was also something that stuffed me for a bit because I was like, oh, I need glowstone, not realizing that glowstone dust is not glowstone. I had a very, very dumb moment. But these are something that's added in the better nether as well, and it's a respawn statue. So once I figured out that I needed glowstone, not glowstone dust, I made it into 4 blocks of glowstone and decided to reset my respawn point here just in case if something went wrong. I then jumped down a bit further and I sort of decided I was going to brute force some of these piglins because I wanted to get my loot. I wanted to hurry this up. I was sick of being cautious. So I sort of went through and attempted my best. There is that whole scene there. I forgot that I had a shield. I don't know how I forget these things. I think I just get so nervous while I'm recording doing these things because I'm like, oh, I could die. And I freak out and forget, hey, you have a shield. That thing works to protect you. I don't know, brain just doesn't work half the time. I then got down to like the level just before and saw a whole bunch of magma creams and I'm like, I'm just gonna shoot you, get you guys out the way. I then made my way over to the top half to break the spawner because I was like, I don't want to be down here looting and have a whole bunch of them on me while I'm looting. So I got our first netherite template. I sort of have a look at what else is there and I pick and choose which I'm going to take because I like my loot, but sometimes I have too much of some things and not enough of others. The one thing I didn't grab a lot of was the blackstone. I feel like I can always come back here later and get more if I want to. I just wasn't too interested in getting what there was. At this point in time too, I was really nervous thinking that I was going to get my butt handed to me because I was out in the open near lava. Also, this holy orb and the glove that I grabbed are part of a Relics RPG mod that I added as well, because I do have I think it's the trinkets mod, but for some reason, everywhere we've looted, I have not found trinkets, so I thought, stuff it, I'll add another mod that adds something else, and if we ever come across trinkets, cool, we can just have both. It doesn't matter. I then take my leisurely time just grabbing the last 2 chests at the bottom of the bastion, being a bit more careful than I had before, because I was like, oh, don't want to die. I also found a bit of ancient debris in the chest, which I was like, cool, that's great. Wasn't expecting that. Mind you, I've never been to a bastion before, so I didn't know what loot I could find. I ended up making my way this way to go to the last chest that I saw. And while I was fighting this dude, I had the weirdest thing happen, and I don't know how to explain it. It was just so weird. Yeah, for some reason, his face just puffed up and stayed puffed up. I was like, okay. I thought eventually it would go down, but it doesn't. It stays that way the entire time until I kill him. And I was like, okay, cool. So I make it back here to my home for some peace and quiet, just to relax. I have most of the roof, or all of it done at this point. No, most of the roof done at this point. And so I'm just like, oh, here we go. Let's fix up this little bit that we have left. I also decided to raise the roof by 1 block. I was going to raise it up by 2. When I came to the realization that if I raised it up by 2, then I run into some of the redstone lamps that are in the fountain. Oh, not redstone lamps, sorry. The blocks of redstone that are in the fountain. And I don't want to lose the lights in the fountain. So I just put it up 1 and thought that'll be fine. I'm feeling like maybe raising it by 1 was probably the better decision due to the fact that we have so many mods that I think I'm actually going to run out of storage. I then decided I was going to enchant some diamond pickaxes. I had one that was broken and one that was semi-broken. I added them together, which had vein mining and unbreaking 3. Here I am fiddling around to figure out which way works best. I then add a Fortune 2 book onto it because I managed to get Fortune 2, which was great. And then I decided to upgrade it with netherite. My first netherite item in the entire time that I've been playing Minecraft since the netherite came out. I then went on a mining diamond spree, which I used the axe for. The diamond hammer. I had a diamond hammer and I enchanted it with unbreaking 3. And then went through and got a whole bunch of diamonds. This was my mining haul at the end. But yeah, that's all I've done for this episode. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.